Hey everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. We're here in my workshop kitchen. I haven't filmed in here in a while, so I'm super excited. Putting on some gloves. I've made sure everything is sanitized. Just gonna weigh off a little bit of soap base first for just a little bit of an accent on the soap. Today I am making a goat milk and turmeric facial bar. You can also use it on your body. I love goat milk and turmeric. They both have awesome benefits for your skin. So I'm going to be using this mold today. It's a beautiful sun and moon. They kind of look like they're kissing type of mold. I haven't used it yet. I've been wanting to use it for a while, so I'm super excited. The part of the moon is a little deeper than the sun, so that's where I'm going to do the accent. I'm also using this wild Indian turmeric that I get shipped to my house directly from India. It's beautiful. It has a very vibrant, luscious, lavish color. And I'm also going to be using some chamomile extract that I get from Brambleberry. Chamomile is very soothing for the skin. I have also here some chamomile and lavender essential oils, but I don't think that I'm going to use them today just because I prefer not to use any kind of fragrance in something that you use on your face just because people are sensitive. So I put the soap base in the microwave on 30-second bursts, and I do that so that I don't compromise the integrity of my soap to where it doesn't lather. You know, a lot of times I use a thermometer, a digital thermometer to measure the temperature, but I've been doing this for so long, I know if it's getting too hot or not. Went off screen for a bit to get some isopropyl alcohol. I love to use 99%. It's great for getting rid of bubbles in your soap and for making everything cohesive and mesh together perfectly. So I heated that up. I think it's about the right temperature. I'm just gonna give it a stir and make sure that there's no lumps in there and that the consistency is perfect for what I wanna do. And I think it's great. So I'm going to use first I'm gonna spray the mold with the alcohol so that everything coheres perfectly, pop any bubbles with it. Then I'm gonna use a small plastic pipette just to carefully put in the white base into the moon part. It's gonna have a really nice contrast with the turmeric, so I'm looking forward to this. I think they're gonna come out really pretty. So I'm just doing that real quick. Making sure that I fill it up just right. I don't want any spillage over into the sun part. I'm just popping any bubbles that may have occurred when I was putting it in with the pipette. I like everything to be smooth and neat. I'm like pretty OCD with this kind of stuff, so. Also, I don't usually use a soap base like this for anything for the face, but this is very gentle and I wanted to make a shorter video. I'll do another one. I've done ones before with the more extensive method, which is doing it with oils and butters and fats and everything. So I put that in there, sprayed it with some alcohol to pop any bubbles. Now I'm showing you my half teaspoon, and usually I believe that you use 1 teaspoon of additive per pound of soap. So I'm not gonna use a full teaspoon, just a little bit. I'm gonna let that white soap set into the moon just so that it doesn't blend together when I pour the other part of the soap in. Now I'm cutting it up into small cubes. I do this so that everything melts evenly, and I, again, don't, compromise the integrity of the soap by overheating it. So when you cut it in the same size, it, melts pretty evenly. I love this Stevenson brand. I have a lot, actually all of my melt and pour is from Stevenson. They never miss. They're really, really quality, good company. So I'm weighing it out. These molds, I believe, hold a little bit less than 2.5 ounces, but I always make a little bit more because when I measure out my soap base, I measure it with water, and water has a different weight than the soap, so I always put a little bit more. And I just showed you the cover so that you can see that it's from Stevenson and it's the crystal goat milk soap base. So I'm going to pop that back into the microwave, wait a little bit, for it to melt some. After 30 seconds, I take it back out. You can see it's still not melted. It did melt a little bit, but you give it a little bit of a stir. Even if you have a few little lumps at the end, which you'll see as we go along, you want to mix it just to make sure, because sometimes it melts on its own once you give it a stir. So yeah, you don't want to overdo it. So now I'm going to make my turmeric mixture. I spray a little bit of alcohol into the small container to mix with the turmeric, just to make it easier to blend in with the soap base. If I were to add this right on top of the soap base, it could have lumps in it. It just doesn't come out as fluid as I would like it to. So I always try to mix it with something. If I'm doing like the more complicated method where I use sodium hydroxide and everything like that, I mix it with the glycerin that I may use in the soap. So my soap is melting down nicely, and I'm just giving it another stir. Probably gonna pop it back in there. It's still a little bit chunky, so yeah, we're gonna pop that back into the microwave for about another minute or so. So you can see that the moons have solidified a bit, and they will not blend with the other color when I pour it in, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna add the chamomile extract right now, just because I want everything to go in at the same time. Chamomile extracts are made with, they're, I believe, a vapor distilled method, but I don't think it'll do anything to the extract to add it into the alcohol. Just trying to make things a bit simpler. So my soap is melting down nicely, and I'm giving it another stir. It did have a couple lumps in there, but I don't think that I'm gonna have to be able to put it back in anymore. I think that will melt on its own because I am using a glass container, so that keeps it hot. Nope, I'm putting it back in. I think the lumps were bigger than before. I think you'll see in this part that there's still a couple lumps in there, but I give it a mix and they just dissolve on their own, so it doesn't end up being overheated. Yeah, you can see those little chunks. I'm not gonna put it back in the microwave though. I'm just gonna continue to mix that until it's fully melted. And it does exactly what I want it to do, which is awesome. There's nothing like an easy process, and this is like one of the easiest processes. Seriously, melt and pour, anyone can do it. I love it. I started off doing it. I was a little bit, scared of using the sodium hydroxide in the beginning, but now I do it all the time. So yeah, those little chunks melted up, and as you can see, I'm gonna spray it and the bubbles disappear. Some people use 70% isopropyl alcohol. I always use 90. I just feel like it works better. And the soap will not smell like the alcohol. The alcohol will evaporate. There will be no trace of it when you smell the soap. So a little trick that I learned is when you have a little bit of residue left in your container, you just spray it with the alcohol like directly into the container and it comes out clean. That color is beautiful. I love it, but I think that I want it just a little bit more vibrant because when you're using a white soap base, sometimes the color tends to come out a little bit more pastel than you would want it to come out. So I want the contrast to be vivid. So you'll see me here in a second make another batch of my turmeric mixture. A tiny bit. It's still not going to be a full teaspoon that I'm putting into this because it's definitely not a full pound. It's almost a pound, but not quite. So I'm just mixing it really well to make sure everything is incorporated, and I'm just going to take a tiny little bit on the edge of my spoon and make a little bit more to pull into there to bring out the color. So I give that a mix, and then I pour it into the container, and then I mix that again, making sure that everything is well blended. I love making soap. This is so much fun. These are gonna come out great. So yeah, no fragrance today, no essential oils, but the soap is still gonna smell amazing and natural. I spray the alcohol into the mold just to make sure that everything goes into all the creases and crevices perfectly. It also helps the soap that you pour into on the soap that has cooled. It helps it to adhere to each other so that there are no discerning lines in your soap. Everything looks very neat. So I'm gonna pop all the bubbles and leave that to sit for a while until it cools. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and come back when the soap is ready to unmold. So my soap is hardened and cooled down, and it's ready to unmold. I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna pop some of these out of here now and give you a look. And check that out. Super cute. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to use these soaps. I love them. I love this mold. I think I got it from Amazon. I'm gonna try to pop everything that I use down in the description so that you can just click on the link and find it for yourself. I am not an Amazon affiliate, so I do not get paid for any of this, but I wanna be as helpful as possible. These are so pretty, I love them. I had a little bit of extra soap, so I poured it in this little donut mold, this little bundt cake mold, which is cute. I love that. So that's it, guys. What do you think? I am obsessed. I love it. All right, guys, so that's the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun making these. They came out so pretty. I can't wait to use one myself tonight. And I'll probably give the other 3 away to either a couple of my daughters or my homegirl next door. Hey, girl. But I will be making more videos more consistently. I do plan to make one either tomorrow or the day after. I have some contracts that I just got with some Airbnbs down in Florida. So I'm doing for them some shampoo bars, conditioner, body soaps, and face and body lotions. So I think next on the list is the liquid shampoo. So I'll probably do that next. And yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for supporting, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.